So this is day 2 back to work. Just the same as Monday. Rushing around. Trying to get ready to go. My alarm did go off this time. I did hear it, I think. But in the midst of getting ready, tripped over something and was down for about a minute until my back felt a little better. It was quite the experience. So I think this one's short and listen to some radio this morning. I might have you guys listening too.
Because he says, I don't want you to have pleasure. But he knows that sex isn't a toy. He knows that it's more than physical pleasure. Far more than physical pleasure. And he hates rape of any kind. And sex without the absolute commitment of marriage is a kind of rape in God's sight. Because we're asking people to be naked and vulnerable at the deepest level of their humanity without a final commitment. I mean, it just amazes me when I hear people say, I don't know why a marriage license is so important. Why can't we just live together for a while and experiment and so on? I want to say to people, young people, you are so foolish. You don't know the risk that you're taking. I want to say to the woman, you want to open yourself up to a man who has made no permanent commitment to you. But we're so desperate for intimacy. And I think we're living in a time that is perhaps the most erotic time in American history, certainly, if not Western history, where people, young people, and adults are bombarded with sexual stimulation such as we have never seen before. With the media, with all kinds of visual and graphic images, plus all the rest, where there is a constant undermining of the biblical ethic at this point. Chastity in our day is almost as rare in the church as it is outside of the church, because the culture has collapsed with respect to the virtue of chastity. And so I think everybody struggles, particularly young people in this day and age. And one of the reasons why the church wants to change the laws is because everybody's breaking the law. And so we accommodate that by changing the law. When we do that, we insult the wisdom of God. No, I think we have to be gracious and understanding and merciful towards those who struggle with obedience to the law of God. Understanding that we're living in the kind of time that we are, but it doesn't change the character of God, and it doesn't change the commitment that we are to have in marriage, in love, and in our sexual relationships. How often have you thought about the basal meaning of marriage to you? You know, I went with my wife for 8 years before we got married. 8 years. That was the third time I went with her. We'd gone together twice and broken up before that, so I don't count that. So it was 8 years, and then we got married. And I remember the first year that we were married, that there were so many surprises I couldn't imagine it. I felt like I didn't even know this person until we got married. And yet, after 30-some years of marriage, today we're still learning about each other. And that can be scary, that can be threatening, that can be intimidating, or that can be fun. Because I don't care who you're married to. You could be married to the most miserable person on this planet. There's still something worth fascination in that person. There's something worth loving in that person. And we can look at our mates and see the weaknesses, but all we're seeing is something that is basic to humanity. and basic to ourselves. And really, there should be an attempt to celebrate redemption in this experience of nakedness, whereby I can be loved by somebody who knows who I am, who's not just responding to a public image or to an outward behavior, but who knows me when I'm cantankerous and when I'm frustrated and when I'm impatient and all the rest. And all of that is what is behind this fence that God puts around marriage when he says, thou shalt not commit adultery.